Hi everyone, this is Sean. Welcome back to my channel. Please press the thumbs up button, subscribe, share, comment. I'm always looking forward to the dialogue. Always looking forward to reading the comments, and I really appreciate it when you guys dialogue with each other. I appreciate it also when you guys network with each other. That is what this community is for. So I'm over here at Target, and while I was walking, I almost got abducted. I almost got abducted by a barricade from Transformers. So I saw this car. I thought it was a security vehicle at first, and then I walked up to it closer, and I thought, oh man, this is gonna be some good content right here for a future video. It said call 911 on the side. I said, oh, we're getting good. I saw a badge or a symbol, and then it said police. I'm like, oh man, this is getting too interesting. And then on the side it said to punish and enslave. I'm not gonna say anything negative about this vehicle. I thought it was pretty cool. It's cool, it's creative. I haven't seen anything like that. I don't know who drives this car, but it is pretty neat looking. I'm not saying it's legal or not. I'm just saying that if you use this vehicle in the wrong context, that could be impersonating a peace officer in the state of California. Anyhow, hey guys, I want to talk about a video that Justin Humphreys made. And in that video, he talked about security officers wearing a badge, not a badge, I'm sorry, a large patch that says officer on it. It's kind of like this. So this patch says security. I use this patch to connect with you guys, connect in the security community, but it's almost like this large, and it goes right over here, and it says officer. I was reading the dialogue between Mike Alvarez, a respected YouTube content creator and security professional, and then Justin Humphreys, and what they're saying does make a lot of sense. So look, in California, I don't see anybody that wears a patch that says officer, anybody who's a law enforcement officer. They'll either wear a patch that says police or sheriff or special agent or parole or probation. Somewhere in between, but not officer. So when I see a patch on a security officer that says officer, or a patch on anybody that says officer, I know that that person is either a fake law enforcement officer or a private security officer. What we have to understand is that a lot of people are not like us, guys. A lot of people are not ingrained in the security and law enforcement profession. And because of that, if they see a security officer from a distance away that has a patch that says officer, they might think that you're a law enforcement officer. And that could work in your favor, and it could not work in your favor. So for example, if somebody is hell-bent on hurting law enforcement, they see that patch that says officer, you're a prime target. I remember in P-Town, Pomona, there was a 15 or 16-year-old member from Happy Town, and that person was actively seeking out to destroy any law enforcement officer. So that person went to this person went to the Pomona courthouse, and I believe he saw a highway patrol officer and took him out, and that was part of the gang initiation. Remember, if you are a security officer, you probably don't have the luxury of having a red or orange button that you could press where your GPS coordinates would get sent down, and the whole world would know that there's a police officer or law enforcement officer down. You normally don't have that distress button. You normally don't have resources where you could just put out on the radio dispatch that you need help ASAP, and there's a helicopter on the way and 20 to 30 officers of the cavalry headed in your direction. You don't have that luxury. You also don't have the luxury, in most cases, of having an officer who has lethal and an officer who has less lethal. And that's to de-escalate situation. You're on your own for the most part if you're working private security. I personally don't have a problem with it if you have something that says officer, as long as they're able to distinguish that you're security. So if you work in a state like California, you're required to have shoulder patches that say private security on it. The badge has to say the name of your company and a badge number. But it's clear that you're private security based on the logos and the signage of your uniform. If you're lacking that, then I have a huge problem with you just putting a big ass patch that says officer. Now, some security officers do that so that they can gain a little bit more compliance. And let me tell you this. I've worked private security, uniform private security, malls, bars, HOAs, warehouses, hospitals, you name it. I've worked as a police officer in different capacities, uniform patrol. And I have worked jobs that are not security or not police. I was an instructor at a private college for almost 7 years. And I'll tell you this, guys, you get disrespected as an instructor, as a law enforcement officer, and as a private security officer. And I want to say, for me, it was equal. They called me a rent-a-cop. They didn't listen to what I was telling them as a security officer. As a police officer, almost the same thing. They call me pig. I'm not going to listen to you. They walk away, and there's a total amount of disrespect. As an instructor, as somebody that taught criminal justice, the associate's degree program at a private college, I had students walk out on me, not get in my face, but disrespect me in front of other students. I've had that happen. And what it really amounts to is you as an individual. If you need a badge or a patch in order to get somebody to comply with you, I think you're in the wrong profession. That's all it is, guys. It's a badge or it's a patch. It's the individual that counts. And I say that as a working security, I say that working as a police officer, and I say that working as an instructor. Guys, this is what I noticed, that I do get disrespected in all three of these professions I just mentioned. But I want to say it's equal across the board. I normally do not get disrespected, and I think it's just because of the way that I talk to people. I treat people with respect. I put myself in their shoes. I'm polite. I'm respectful to them. And what people appreciate is that you don't overstep your authority or overstep your perceived authority. You operate within the perimeter of the law and of the rules and regulations of that establishment. At the private college where I worked at, there were some instructors, guys, that got disrespected every single day. I just couldn't believe it. You have people almost getting in their face, students getting in the instructor's face. And that has never happened to me. I have a different way of talking to people. What I would do is, I had a student that was disrespecting me in front of everybody else. So I basically, what I did is I gave the class an activity so that they would be distracted a little bit. And then I approached the student and I called her by her first name and said, "Hey, so-and-so, can I talk to you outside about something?" So that student came outside with me and I said, "Hey, look, we have a policy that says that you can't do A, B, or C. I know that you're visually upset about it, but you got to follow the rules." And then I asked, "Hey, is everything okay? Are you good? Is everything okay? Is there anything that I can help you with?" And guys, this student was really respectful towards me, sat back in class, and after that, I had no problems at all with the student. And the same thing with other students. I give students their time. I give them their space so that they can take a little breather. I have never, ever had to yell at a student and tell them to get out of class. Never. And I think it just by the way that I approach people. Same thing in private security. "Hey, sir, ma'am, it looks like that you are upset about something. It looks like something isn't working out right now. Can I talk to you outside for a minute? There's just so many people out here, and I want to just communicate with you. I want you to be able to communicate to me as clear as possible what happened, and perhaps I can help you. Matter of fact, I think I can help you. Can we just go over here for a minute? Just step outside where it's a little bit more quiet." That has almost worked for me every single time, maybe like 99% of the time. And I do the same thing as a police officer. So, guys, it doesn't matter if you wear a badge or patch. It doesn't matter what it says. It doesn't even matter if it says authority. It doesn't matter if it says government on it. It's you as an individual that means the most to everybody. Just don't depend on a badge. You know how a lot of people out there, they might say, hey, you're badge heavy. That's what they're referring to. You know, some people say just take off your badge. They're referring to, well, you're not a human being, you're not a person. You have no ground to stand on unless you have that badge with you. I'm telling you guys this. I'll tell you guys this. The art of persuasion is real. There's a book out there that's written by Dr. George Thompson. It's called Verbal Judo. I highly recommend that you guys read that book if not already. I've read it 2 or 3 times. Dr. Thompson unfortunately passed away not too long ago. Dr. Thompson worked with crisis negotiators, tons of law enforcement officers, security, and that book is so valuable. If there's just one book, now I'm religious, so I'm going to say read the Holy Bible. That's one of the only books, but I know a lot of you guys are not religious. I think the second book that I would read, if I only have to read 2 books in my life, it would be Verbal Judo. That has helped me the most in my career. Know your verbal judo, know your limits, and respect others. And you don't have to wear a special badge or patch that conveys authority, you guys. Do you know that other respectable people in our industry highly disagree? And I totally respect their opinion on that as well. Take care, guys, and I'm looking forward to the dialogue.